Right, welcome to the third and I hope final part of Advanced Opinion Piece. Now, what you're looking at in front of you here, this is the basic one we initially made out in the first couple of videos. Now, in the last two, we've been looking at structures we could use to bring this up to top marks. What you could do is have a go yourself at using those structures, introducing them and seeing how you get on, and then comparing that to what I've done. Or we can just go straight ahead. Just if anybody is joining us late, the initial thing we were responding to, the statement was on peut passer des vacances formidables en Irlande. One can have great holidays in Ireland, qui ne coûtent pas trop cher, which are not too dear. Il n'y a pas besoin, there is no need to aller à l'étranger, to go abroad. Donnez vos réactions. Okay, so we initially said in our basic version, we agreed with that. We said c'est vrai. Now, ideally, if you're agreeing with something, the slightly fancier way of saying it, you can say je suis d'accord, or if you're being fancier still, je suis entièrement d'accord. So there's a few options. The basic option, I agree, je suis d'accord, or je ne suis pas d'accord, I don't agree. But there are a few ways of just, say, making that slightly fancier. The one we have here, je suis entièrement d'accord avec cette déclaration. I entirely agree. You could say je suis d'accord avec cette déclaration jusqu'à un certain point, up to a certain point or to a certain extent, or at the other extreme, je ne suis pas du tout d'accord. I don't agree at all du tout avec cette déclaration. Anyway, in this case, we're agreeing. You know, we initially said, what did we say? We said nous savons que le Kerry et le Connemara, par exemple, sont très beaux, are very beautiful. We know they're very beautiful. Et que Newgrange, par exemple, est très intéressant. Now, obviously, we weren't picking up much marks for our vocabulary with le Kerry, le Connemara. So ideally, we're going to say nous savons que le paysage, the scenery, the landscape, est très beau en Irlande. Et que les monuments historiques sont vraiment intéressants. So vraiment is an alternative to très, if you're using that a lot, truly or really interesting, historic monuments. So now the fancier version of our initial, what we initially said, mais nous voulons toujours aller en Espagne. So we always want to go to Spain. Now, a fancier version of this would be, why do we always? We introduce a question. We said that was one option. Why do we always want to go to Spain? So if you want to have a pause and think about that, well, do we want, what we were saying in a previous video is if you're turning nous voulons, the statement we want, into do we want, voulons-nous does the job, just turn it backwards. And then if you're saying why do we want, just stick a pourquoi in front of it. So pourquoi, why voulons-nous toujours aller en Espagne et au Portugal, go to Spain or Portugal. Now, and another idea we mentioned was if you want to just throw out an idea, so in other words, in this case, for example, spend all my holidays in Ireland, me, and then react to the idea. So you can simply use the infinitive of whatever verb you're using. So to spend, in this case, is passer. Again, if you want to think about how you would say, spend all my holidays in Ireland, well, the answer is passer toutes mes vacances ici en Irlande, moi, me, and then we simply exclaim our response. You could say impossible would be one option. This is slightly fancier, inimaginable, you see there, so unimaginable. So usually, or typically, when you have un in English, unknown or unimaginable, it's in the French. Now, an exception is if the word is starts with a B or a P, then it's im. A little trivial bit of information. So if you want to say unthinkable, just here as an alternative. So the verb to think, if anyone doesn't know, it's penser. So unthinkable, impensable. That'd be the other option. So spend all my holidays here in Ireland. Unimaginable or unthinkable. Of course, it wouldn't be if you couldn't afford to go. But anyway, we're assuming here for a moment you can. Unthinkable. So, what we want to say? Oh, yes. So in the original, just going back, we said, c'est stupide, was our simple statement of this. This is stupid. Now, again, if we're trying to make this a little bit fancier, is it not a bit stupid or sad or strange or whatever? If you want to have a little think about that. So, c'est really is ce, ce is the it, and a, est is the is. So if you're turning into is it, same idea really. We're just Turning them backwards, you see, et ce, or es, and is it not then, n'est-ce pas, un peu, a little bit, so if instead of stupide, I've said étrange. This is not a bit strange. Now, say you want to say, let's be more positive, okay? Well, again, we were saying let's do something. Typically, you're taking the nous of the present tense, and you just leave out the nous. That does the trick, but there's a few verbs where that doesn't work, and être, to be, is one of them. So if you want to say let's be, it's soyons. So again, this is a very flexible option, so I recommend it. Soyons plus positifs. We're saying here, let's be more positive. Now, in the original, we said nous devons. We used devoir. We said we must, voyager en Irlande, travel in Ireland in order to aimer, to like notre culture, etc. Now, here I want to say, I'm going to say by exploring, en explorant. So that's that other structure we're using, the en, and then the ant on the end of the verb. En explorant notre propre pays, our own country. Nous commençons à apprécier, so we start to appreciate, like a lot of cases where you have the English verb has an ate, appreciate, the French verb has an er. Sa culture, its culture, et son histoire, and its history. So the culture is feminine, so it's sa culture. Histoire is actually feminine as well, but if a word starts with a silent H or a vowel, use son instead of sa, even if it's feminine. It just sounds better. Son histoire. So son sa, it's normally his or her, but it's in this case referring to a country. Now in the original, this is quite similar to what we originally said. We said, il est vrai, it's true, que les trains, les hôtels et les bons restaurants sont, we said they are dear. I might just throw in a plutôt cher, rather dear, ici. But now what I now want to say is, let's not exaggerate. So again, this business of let's do something. Well, I'll give you a clue. Exaggerate is exagérer. Again, quite similar to the English, just instead of an ATE, you've got an ER and only one G, but apart from that. So if you want to take a moment to think about that, let's not exaggerate. It's mais n'exagérons pas. So the again, same idea. We've taken the nous exagérons from the present tense and just left the nous out. We're left with let's exaggerate, or in this case, let's not exaggerate. So what we're going to say here, let's not exaggerate by traveling, by bus or bicycle, and by staying in hostels and that kind of thing. So if you want to think about that, voyager, to travel, loger is like to lodge or to stay. So if you want to say by traveling, by staying, well, the answer is, again, yes, that business of on and the ant form, en voyageant en bus, ou à vélo, by traveling on a bus or a bicycle, et en logeant, by staying, dont we'll see in a moment, there's auberge, hostels. Just a little point about verbs ending ger, even where they're regular, they just have a slight irregularity in that you keep the e in the ons form of the present tense, the we, so you end up with the e in this case as well with the ant. En logeant dans des auberges, we're saying on peut, so we use this in the original piece, one can, pouvoir. Dépenser is to spend, beaucoup, moins d'argent. So one can spend beaucoup, a lot less money. So passer, spend if you're spending time, but dépenser if you're spending money. And the final thing we're going to say then is, so why not stay in Ireland next year? So again, if you want to have a little think about that yourself. So again, we're just throwing out an idea. So rester, by the way, is to stay. And we're just throwing out the idea of staying in Ireland. You can simply say, rester en Irlande l'année prochaine, question mark. Now, if we want to say why not, well, we just put the pourquoi ne pas rester en Irlande l'année prochaine. Okay, why not stay? So again, you notice just final point where you have an infinitive is the one case where the ne and pas go together. So normally you have a ne before the verb and a pas coming after it, but not with an infinitive. You just put them together. Why not stay? Pourquoi ne pas rester en Irlande l'année prochaine? That completes our considerably fancier opinion piece, hopefully getting you top marks. Okay. Anyway, again, if anyone wants to contact me for a one-to-one lesson, it's keltony@gmail.com, but we'll leave it there for now.